Let's now bring our focus to setting up the keys. Prior to getting to the keys, do want to remind you that, remember, since we're going to be rotating the flashlight, we'll want to use a rotation order of ZXY. Probably going to be a better solution for that, so we'll go ahead and set that up. We could also go ahead and start cleaning up some things in our scene. As far as our layer 1, we can delete that. And we could also go to our extras and hide that as well. Okay, to clean that up. Great. So from here, of course, we're going to now be setting up our keys, and we have several options. Again, we can set up the keys as dynamics, or basically to have a dynamically driven effect. If you had a powerful enough system, you can do that, or you can set it up like what we've done with the flashlight, and you can change the pivot around, get the maximum control out of each individual key by setting it up just like what we did with the fingers, controlling the X, Y, and Z. So you have a various amount of options you can choose from, so you can find the best solution. But for us, what we're going to be just doing here is having it pinned to the character's waist and seeing an option we can choose for, let's say if the keys were just going to pretty much stay at the waist or stay on this ring. So we will be able to set up a follow switch so that it'll follow the belt and follow the world if we like. And as far as the keys, rather than setting them up individually, what we're going to do here is look at another option where we can fan out the keys, fan them back and forth, and have them roll along the ring as much as we need. And by doing so, by blending those different combinations, you can get a really cool follow-through effect. So let's go ahead and work on its setup. With the key ring selected, we can just hit up arrow to get to its main group, test out just to see where the pivot is. Okay, so that's right at the center. Let's go ahead and move its main pivot right to the clip so that that will be corrected. Great. As far as the control for this, we could even use the ring as the control. It doesn't always have to be a control curve. So that's what we're going to be using for its control, this ring. Now, now that we have our pivot in line for the main group, let's see if we can find it. We'll hit F. We'll go to the ring. This is pretty much going to be the parent of the rest of our keys. So let's go to the ring itself. You can even open that up. And we'll also want to make sure that its pivot is right at the end, okay, where the clip lies. So we select our group, go to turning on its L array, go back to our key ring, go to a wireframe view, and in our pivot mode we snap it right where it needs to go. Okay, so hold V and snap the pivot. There we are. Great, so now that that has been done, we can go back to our group and just turn off the L array so that's not seen. Alright, so we know that this is going to be the controller of the rest of our keys. So what we can do is select all of our keys, A through all the way to I. Control click our ring last and just simply hit P. So what we get when we select it is the control out of our keys. Great. Now that that's done, we'll work on making our rivet. So let's go ahead and find some points. We'll select our clip here. Let's go ahead and again give it a higher division so it looks better. We'll select our clip itself. Go ahead and go into our component mode, go to edges and find some edges that will be fine for connecting our key ring. So that's going to be these edges right underneath it. With them now selected, we can use our rivet, shorten the locator so it's not so large, give it a name. We can call this Riv underscore keyring 01. You know exactly where it goes. We can put it underneath our group so that we'll go to rivet group, place it underneath it. Great. And since it disappears, we can just go to our extras quickly and turn that back on just for the time being. We can set up our scale since we know that that's going to, we're going to want that set up. So we go underneath our character move, select the scale, select our rivet for the key ring, and just again do a scale constraint with maintain offset. Alright, so that rivet is now going to be moving along the way we'd like it to. So now we need to hook up our key ring. So again, let's go to its group, the main group for it, and we want to put it not under our character geo because we want it to scale. So we'll put it underneath our control objects. We'll go under character scale and hit P. Okay, great. So now that's going to scale fine. We can go ahead and test that out. Great. So everything is now moving with our rig. Wonderful. We did say that we wanted to have the keyring controlled by the belt as well as the world, similar to what we did for the flashlight. So let's go ahead and work on that. With the keyring group selected, we can go ahead and find that in our control objects group. There it is. And we set up a few constraints. So the first object we select is our ring, the rivet for the ring. The next one we select, control click the world group, followed by our group for the key ring. There it is. With all of these objects selected, we go to constraint and do our parent constraint. Now we can go ahead and set up custom attributes on this this ring key ring control. So with it selected, we go to modify, add attribute. Again, we can call it driver, add. Oh, we do want to make sure that we use displayable. If this ever happens, if you don't use displayable, there's no need to undo. You just go to driver, right click, and lock selected. Okay, so we still have a category name there. Then we call it follow for our actual attribute that will set our set driven keys on. We use an enum. Scroll down, switch green to belt, and switch blue to world. Hit OK. Great, so now that's set up. If we wanted to, we can clean up our control quickly by getting rid of everything that has scale or visibility, leaving everything else. Alright, so now that's clean, we can set up our set driven key. We'll go ahead and load that up. Load that up as the driver. The driven is going to be our parent constraint, so we'll select that, load it up, select both of our constraints. Since the belt came first, we'll zero out our world, key selected, go to world, go to the parent constraint, zero it out, and set a full waiting for the world, hit key selected, and test everything out. Right now it's set to world, so if we move our hips, no movement there. If we go ahead and switch it now to belt, it should move the way we'd like it to, the way we've set it up to do so, along with the character. Great. Excellent. So we have the main control for our key set up. What we'll do is go ahead and check out our scale to make sure that's going to be still moving the way we'd like it to. So we can even go ahead and just start going to our scale. There it is. Testing that out. Okay, even when it's scaled low, that's fine. And when it's scaled taller, everything else is still working the way we again set it up to work. So let's say from here we go ahead and go to our extras group and now hide that to clean up our view. So we're just about done with the setup of our keys. What's next to do is make sure we can set up those the fan and those other such attributes so that we can get a nice cool follow through effect if we were to ever animate these keys, which I believe we plan to do. So that's what we're going to be working on in the next lesson to see if we could go ahead and wrap up the setup of our keys.